Hey, folks, are you feeling the heat from the market ups and downs lately? You know, you're not alone. But today we're going to tackle the uncertainties together. Today we'll break down the key market indexes and also dive into 4 top stocks that you may want to check out because they could be a game changer for your portfolio. And so the question we want to ask going into today is, and the winner is, and right now we don't know whether we don't know, there we go. We don't know who's going to win this battle. I know yesterday was a really scary day, and today is a up day. So let's jump over and take a look at the Russell, and I'll explain a little bit what's going on here. Russell is basically pushing back down towards a level of the uptrend line. So this is the structure. If this structure of the uptrend line breaks, which would be also breaking the 50-day moving average, watch out for a fall all the way down to 198 or maybe even 190, almost 191 down here at the 200-day moving average. Let's look at what's going on with the actual signals that were going on with the Russell earlier on. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had a hanging man. That's a bearish reversal signal. And sure enough, we get confirmation and price actions reversed. Then earlier this week, we get a close below the 8-day moving average. That's a negative sign. Notice how the moving averages started to bend down. Fell down yesterday, stopped dead in the water right at the 50-day moving average, and we get a nice little rebound today. So this would be considered a bullish harami. Will this bullish harami result in a rally back up to the top? Next week, I'm going to be watching for what happens next. Do we go up a little bit? Try to rally attempt back to these old highs. If that fails, then watch out below. If it doesn't fail, watch for it to at least challenge back up here around the 212 level. Note what's going over here on the weekly chart. We're up close to the past highs. However, the momentum indicators are not approaching their past highs. I have a bearish engulfing on the weekly chart. However, price actions are still hanging out above the 8-day moving average. So those are all positive. Right now, I have to approach the Russell as if it is that it is in an uptrend. And so I need to be looking for where can I trade the Russell if I'm going to favor the uptrend. So that's what's going on with the Russell. And today we're going to basically dive into the indexes and 4 stocks, as we said later. So I'm Dennis Wilburn, the AutoPilot Trader, and alongside is Anil Parikh. We missed you a lot last week, Anil.
Yeah, good to be back here.
And so yesterday was kind of a scary day. Was it surprising? How did you prepare for yesterday's big sell-off?
No, I was surprised actually, and frankly, I was not prepared. But I just let my rules work at it and let it go at that.
So yeah, thank God for our rules, right? Our rules and conditional orders. And what's really interesting is most of my positions actually survived, and I finally have made it back up where I'm about 83% invested right now. So I'm good with that. Hey Wayne, how you doing over there in Houston, Texas? Good to see you. And yeah, you guys, if you let us know where you're watching from, I'd really appreciate that. So we're going to jump into today's informational packed session, and we're going to jump right in by taking a look at the indexes. But you want to remember to hold on. And the reason we want to hold on is because we've got some great stock picks that are just going to knock your socks off. So let's go ahead, and we took a look at the Russell. What about, make sure that I'm showing my chart, and I am. Let's take a look at the S&P. The spiders and the S&P and the NASDAQ were very, very similar in their patterns from yesterday. This is a significant sell-off. Okay, this is a big range, bearish engulfing that engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days worth of price action. And however, isn't it interesting? Where did it stop? It stopped. Let me grab, stop right here at this gap. And you know, we've talked in the past about how these gaps, the midsection of the gap is a strong level of support. Stop dead in the water right there. Today, we get a gap up. We can't really call this a bullish harami simply because it's not reversing a downtrend. And however, it is appearing like it's going to close above the 8-day moving average, which is positive. Geared to the upside, we are approaching a level of resistance made by this this trend line channel. And so right now, I'm looking for the spiders to do one of the two things. Is one, rally all the way up into that level there. Or I would like to see a pullback to the 8-week moving average, which will be just slightly below the 523 level next week, or get a retest back into perhaps this level here, the 523 level. Notice that has been a past level of support. And so that was also a breakout area. So in reality, what we're looking at is we had a breakout, pull back into the breakout. Now we're getting a rebound. Rebound. What's it going to do from there? Get rid of my drawings here. And last but not, I got to stop saying last but not least. That's a terrible thing to say. That's a filler. So NASDAQ, the Q, as represented by the Qs, looking really, really good. Let me get rid of that. Remove that. We've had a breakout. We had a test of a breakout here. And that's one thing. Hey, here's a clue, guys and gals. If you get a breakout from a level of resistance, watch the next few days to see if you're going to get a pullback towards that breakout, because oftentimes that can give you an opportunity to jump into a trade, and it makes an excellent opportunity to seize the day, buy right there, and avoid the buying the actual breakout day, because 70% to 75% of the time after a breakout, you will get a pullback towards the breakout area. So on the NASDAQ, continue to push higher. Note, yes, we're getting a nice little, big selling day yesterday. Was followed on to a hanging man type of candlestick. And so big day, wiped it out. And then, but today we're getting a nice little gap up to here. And then we're, buyers are back in business. And so, what are they doing? Are they buying because NVDA had such great earnings? So Anil, what's your thoughts on the indexes?
Indexes, my triple screen system is holding well. It's
okay.
I have no sell signal, a little bit of weakness in MACD in one, but other than that, holding all right.
Okay. Yeah, yesterday would have been a scary day to take a buy, to buy off of the 8-day moving average, as you can see, because of that big red candle. However, we did get a nice reversal today. One of the reasons I stay away from that kind of a buy is simply because it's not a bullish reversal signal. And so I'll be watching the Qs to see if we pull back down again towards that 448, 449 level, maybe 450 level. And if we do, then I'll be watching. I will put an alert right there on where the 8-day EMA is going to be on Monday, which is about 454 as well, where I'll put an alert. Hey, Mike Norton, good to see you. David, welcome from Michigan. So, Mike, are you in Florida or are you in CA? NorCal. And so, okay, well, let's go ahead and jump over into and here's what's going on with the market pulse. Notice they're showing exposure 60 to 80%. We've only had 2 distribution days and 3 for the S&P. And here, of course, yesterday was your holding, that your leaders in up volume. And you may hear about some of those here shortly. Hey, just a reminder, if you are looking for 3 easy to learn setups and the triggers, check out the Precision Entry Point Trading System. It's over on, I will put a link down in the description on YouTube. It is basically, it can clarify and simplify your trading big time because it reduces the number of items you have to look for and gives you a recognizable pattern that repeats a lot on great stocks and ETFs. So just a quick note of where we're at. I'm almost back on schedule with my with the return so far this year. We hit 15.42 about 9 o'clock this morning, and we are beating the S&P by 4%, not 40%, 4%. And so we continue to just repeat what we're doing. Yeah. Hey, Neil, do you see Jake's comment there? Jake says the composite man has tried to scare us out of our longs yesterday.
Yeah, I just see it.
That he did. Jake, you're absolutely spot on. So, okay, well, let's take a look at our individual stocks. Now, Neil, this is really okay. I am absolutely jealous of the pick you made because it's such a great pick. You had 2 great picks, but we're going to start with this one, and tell us all about it.
PDD is actually a Chinese stock. It came out very strong on my system a few weeks ago. It is in Delaware focus list a couple of weeks ago. And then sometime life happens and you don't pay attention, and
Yeah.
it got away from me. So I did not buy it at that time, and it kind of took off, and it's backing off today. So I have a buy order. If it comes, probably it got hit today. If it comes down below 58, I had buy order put in, and maybe it has triggered. I haven't checked.
Yeah, because we're sitting at 157.95 right now.
Okay, then maybe it has triggered.
So, and here's something I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, as I said, it's all the fundamentals that I screen with, particularly accumulation distribution, SMR rating, up down volume ratio. They're very strong.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. And I encourage everybody to watch this one. Watch it. Look how well it's respecting the 8-day moving average. Just every time since it did its breakout all the way down here at 116, and it has just come down and touched that 8-day and has rolled on up. One of the features I want to show y'all that we haven't done in the past, but check this out. This is a strong stock, PDD. Look at that. The CFR, excellent ratings all the way down. And now this is a long-term from going back to 2019 to right current. And so this is the past high there, but really in a nice uptrend. And so the entity that I'm going to look at, Anil, is I wasn't able to trade in NVDA for their earnings. However, I'm looking at NVDA's cousin, the second stock in the in the for the composite rating in this industry group. And I'm looking at ARM, noting that I am breaking off of the 8-day moving average and the 50-day moving average today. I'm looking at this, Anil, as, full disclosure, we in the AutoPilot Trading Premium service, we bought this twice this week. Once when it came down and touched the 8, and then yesterday when it fell a little bit lower, we also bought in then. But it's looking extremely good, like we are going to basically, the momentum, weekly momentum is shifting up. Daily momentum looks like it's crossing to the upside. I'd like to see the volume kick in a little bit, but I'm good with buying now. And depending on how far it is, a stop loss below this low here, and I always want to know how far that is. So if I got in here at the 8, then my stop loss there would be about a little bit less than 5%. And on this stock, you may want to look at a 6 to 7% stop loss. And then the other one, Anil, this one, crappy Morningstar, but showing some outperforming. And this is, where is this one? In Cambridge. Okay. But it is also a Chinese company. What's up with the Chinese companies registering or incorporating in Great Britain or in Ireland? That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, what's your thoughts on ARM?
Now, ARM's looking good. I just checked that on my triple screen. There's a daily triple screen signal. It's been on. The only slight negative I see is the up-down volume ratio, which is less than 1.
Okay.
And so it might take some time, but otherwise it looks good.
Yeah, I'm looking at this one. If it does what, since it's right related to NVDA, hopefully some of that will spill over. But let's see here. Now this one is just absolutely phenomenal, and it is CrowdStrike. Wow! I hope you bought some today.
Now I had it before, and I have not added today, but it looks good. Again, it's extremely strong fundamentally, and meets the trend criteria, Minervini criteria, everything.
Okay.
I like the only negative is the earnings are coming up.
Okay.
Within a couple of weeks, so I'm concerned about it. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, and can you share with everybody how you handle the earnings? Because I know I have my process for our rules for handling earnings. What do you do?
Now, basically, if I'm going into earning, I got to have at least 10% cushion if I decide to.
Okay.
Many a time, frankly speaking, I get scared and I get out of it. If I had profit, I'll protect the profit and then go back into it if I want to.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, well, it sounds like we do it very similarly. That if I don't have 10%, I sell the whole thing.
Yeah.
If I'm just at 10%, well, for my system, we've already taken off some profits with the system, and so so what I'll do if I'm just at 10%, I'll probably reduce some of the rest of my size. But then I will hold. I mean, I will hold through earnings. We held, last week on one of our entities, and it worked out. But everybody recognize that if you hold through earnings, it is a flip of a coin. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. One thing that's helping me is Check-in Analytics. I'm also subscribed to it, and they have a pretty good overall model.
Okay.
And if they say the expected earnings surprises are good based on their reasoning, sometime I will listen to them and My experience on First Solar really worked out this time.
Okay, and that's shaken.
Yeah, it's Chaikin Analytics.
Shaken Analytics. All right.
Yeah,
And
you see his picture off and on in IBD these
yeah,
days.
we can tell Mark that we gave him it's Mark Chaikin, right?
Yeah, Mark Chaikin.
Okay, yeah, we'll let him know that we gave him a good plug today. Anyway, okay. And on CrowdStrike, again, check it out, guys. And when I go down through these, I look like it's neutral to avoid here by Market Edge. But what's cool, you can go out here and you can click on the view and see what the report is. But again, a lot of these are showing really strong ratings. CFRA is showing, and that was updated. Oh, the other thing to take a look at is when were they updated? So that's on the 18th, 5-star. That's on the 15th. And these down here on, and then the Schwab equity rating of a D. That doesn't necessarily mean that, it clearly doesn't mean that it's a bad stock, but just be aware of that. Yeah, we rode this last year all the way. We picked it up down here and got out up here. And I missed this move here from that low right there on up, but looking really good on that. And so, okay, my last pick for today is this TQQ. From going on, folks, I'm going to basically try to cover one leverage ETF on a weekly basis with these sessions, so that you can, because a lot of people are interested in just trading the leverage ETFs, and I get it. We focus on that with the AutoPilot trading system a lot, and so TQQ, similar thing that the Nasdaq is doing. We're getting a yeah, this is you would be considered a harami if the this would be considered a harami if this was at the end of a downtrend, but it's not. So we still have the bearish engulfing. I will watch this and look to potentially trade it off of either the 8-day moving average, or if we get a pullback to the 8-week moving average, which is going to be about $61 next week, which is right up at that gap up right there. That would also be a great opportunity to get into a trade. So somewhere between, I would say, $64 and $61, $62. I want to have alerts in that zone and then take a trade if we get a reversal signal. So TQQ, TQQQ. And one of the other things, somebody was telling me, Anil, that TQQQ is actually, you can buy it on margin. It only requires 75, so it's 25% margin or something like that, or 75% margin. And that's interesting because normally with leverage ETFs, there's no margin. Isn't that interesting?
I didn't know that.
And so, anyway, hey, Mark, how you doing? Enjoying the dry weather? Not, well, yeah, you're not going to, not in your 401k. Nope, they won't let you do that on your 401k, David. So, okay, guys, you've got about a couple of minutes to spare here. So if you have a stock you would like us to take a look at, or just put down in the comments which of the stocks are ETFs that we covered today, which one are you going to add to your watch list? No margin, no shorting. Anybody? And if you have a stock you want us to take a real quick look at, we can do that. Okay, going once, going twice.
I got one for you to look at. I've never heard of this. Never heard of it. The symbol is KSPI. K as in kilo, S as in sugar, P as in Paul, I as in India.
Huh. That's an ADR.
Yeah. Showed up on my system. I never heard of it. Something in.
Okay. Well, let's take a real quick look. And that's one of the things I really like about this. And those of you who are trading a Thinkorswim platform, again, this is, yeah, it's not even ranking anything here, but it is from, where is it from? It's incorporated in Kazakhstan. That's interesting. But what do? Provide payments, marketplace, fintechs, payment platforms. And so I have no ratings whatsoever. And so I haven't got a clue other than that's what they do. They have no options. And so, and I'm looking right here, Anil, where it looks like it's bouncing up here pretty well. But look how thinly traded it was way back over here. So something happened at the beginning of this year where it became apparently more stable. But the one thing I wouldn't really, this wouldn't be on my list at all is simply because it doesn't have 500,000 average volume. But yeah, not a lot of information. So, okay, JCAS, I'll do coin and then we'll do wing and then we're going to say aloha. Coin. I love this space. Coin. So, should I do my best Jim Cramer analysis, imitation?
Go
Jake? For it. Yeah, bye. No. Anyway, I like coin. Basically, we had a nice reversal, off of the trend line last week, and it's continued to move up. The momentum, especially the TSI on the weekly chart, is just crossing up. We're early on in the potential on this, I believe. I would look for a pullback into the midsection of today's candle and or the 8-day moving average next week, which will be about 224. What's my initial upside target? It's from about there up to there. And that's about a 21%. Let's take it up to 24% gain. But it breaks out from that. We've got a trajectory up probably to about 312. I'm just going to give, this is going to get fast and dirty here, Jake. I said, let's just throw the Fibonacci on there. Approximately there. And sure enough, there is the 304. That's a 1.72. And then 1618 is up here at 340. Those are some upside targets that Fibonacci traders will be watching. Wing. What do you like coin, Anil?
Yeah, coin actually got a buy signal on my system on May the 22nd, so just a couple of days ago.
Awesome. Wing. Yeah, this is another one, Jake. Really nice early turnaround. A little bit of crummy volume, but it is basically coming back to the 8-week moving average. Clearly, that would be an opportunity to jump on board. It's not giving us a lot of clues here. We had a 2-line cluster here 3 days ago. That fulfilled to the upside. I'm just not getting my close above the 8. Is it breaking structure yet is the other thing I need to know. And the answer to that is no, it is not. So until it did a little bit of a Pinocchio here where it broke above the trend line and is then pulling back. And but it's definitely something to be keeping your eye on. And it's been on our watch list, the bigger top 5 composite list. It's been on that for quite some time. But they must have done a split. Did they do a split? Maybe not. Because this is the Hot Wings or something like that, right? Yeah, Wingstop. I'm sorry. So is that a restaurant for Buffalo Wings?
Yeah, it is. The retail restaurants.
So yeah, it certainly looks like it's wanting to turn around. And a nice bull flag back into support above the 50-day moving average, above the wherever the 200-day moving average is above that too. And so great picks. You bought it on the 8 today. Yeah, Jake is one of our premium members, and he and I had a really great talk about 2 months ago, and we really refined it down to trading off of the 8-period moving average. And Jake, how's that working for you? I mean, or is that turning out to be a really improvement for your win-loss ratio? Let's see if Jake will answer me. Don't be shy. Yeah, I know he's not. Okay. So, okay, guys, let's basically, Anil, success in trading requires a consistent routine and the discipline to stick to it regardless of market conditions. It's very easy to watch a day like happened yesterday and get, scared out of a position. But that's one of the reasons why I use conditional orders, to make sure that I'm not emotionally involved. I set those up when, and so, Anil, I know you do something similar so that it removes the emotions from your trading. And so, any final thoughts for today, Anil?
No, just enjoy the 3-day weekend.
Yes, it's a 3-day weekend. And just another reminder, guys, we will not be live next week because I am going to be in a volcano on the Big Island, enjoying the heck out of my 2 grandkids who are coming in from Idaho. And if they're not good, no, I won't say that. No, we're gonna have a ball with them. And so, hey, Fran, how you doing? Nice to see you also. So, Anil, another great session. Thank you for your valuable insight. Again, this is a little bit shorter session than we normally do, but I kind of like this time frame. About half hour, and that works for me, Anil, and I hope it works for you.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Thank you.
Okay, so there you go. Thanks to everybody for joining, and until not next week, but the week after, trade smart, stay free, and aloha. God bless everybody.